today I want to speak to you guys about eating too little. Usually we talk about eating too much, stress eating, unnecessary snacking, but today we're talking about overly restricting your calories and eating too little. Okay, because when you are under eating, when you're eating too little, there could be some, health implications as well. And also you could be doing some damages to your body. So whilst, a lot of us are here working on that health journey, whether if it's, health transformation, body transformation, weight management, I also want to bring it to everybody's attention, especially women, men and women, right? But especially our beautiful women here, that under eating can actually cause a lot of issues, right? So before we get into it, I just want everyone to know that if you have been eating less than, let's say, maybe a couple of you guys could be quite restrictive with like the calorie intake. Some of you may be like super cautious with like how many calories you're having. Then I want you to know that, eating less than 1,000 calories or eating less than 1,200 calories a day could be problematic, especially if your day-to-day, activities and your job or your lifestyle demands you to be running around, to be carrying out different tasks, or to look after your family and like to work and things like that, right? That little calories is supposed to be for people who are, like, say, very petite, or if you're not really doing much, like seriously, if you're sitting around all day. So I do not suggest anybody eating less than actually 1,500 calories. Okay, that's just calorie speaking. But also for people who are constantly under eating, like eating too little calories, you could definitely experience things like, loss of muscle mass, right? Like we don't want to lose muscle mass. Okay, so for a lot of us who are working on weight management, we want to work on, losing the excessive body fat, but keep the muscle mass. So under eating can cause you lose muscle mass, but also it can actually decrease your energy level too, especially when you need the energy for work or for, different activities or workouts, right? So you may find that if you're not eating enough, you don't have enough energy for your workout, right? And also another thing is, if you're not eating enough, you may be experiencing a hard time recovering from a workout, or recovering from, a long day of being out there or doing stuff, right? So now I'm going to jump into 12 signs that you may be under eating, right? So please take very close notes to these and see if you're experiencing some of them, right? And of course, while I'm mentioning these, it may not necessarily be just simply as a cause of under eating. A lot of the symptoms I'm going to be mentioning are also due to hormonal imbalance, right? So I just want everyone to take a note of this. And if you are aware that you're intentionally cutting out your calories, and if you're intentionally restricting your calories intake and intentionally eating very little every day, then this could be some kind of like reminder or alert for you to start looking at how to get your wholesome food and also the right amount of calories that your body needs. Okay, so I'm gonna name 12 signs. Okay, firstly is low energy. Okay, so if you're under eating, you may experience low energy and also brain fog. Number 2, brain fog. Right, so when we don't have enough calories and nutrients, we cannot think properly. We're always feeling like, oh God, like brain fog, right? You can't think properly. You can't remember a lot of things. Okay, number 3 is infertility. Yes, so under eating can actually affect, the ability of conceiving. And then number 4 is insomnia. Yes, a lot of people will be surprised that, sleeping has a lot to do with the way you eat, right? And the quality of your eating. So insomnia is number 4. Number 5 is constipation. When you're not eating enough, your gut system is actually being affected, right? And number 6, right? Number 6 is a low sex drive. Okay, so but also low sex drive can also be related to hormonal imbalance as well. So this is where I want everyone to really take good note of like where you are, right? Like some of you maybe think like it's not a big deal, I'm having low sex drive, it's not a big deal. But when you're healthy, you're not supposed to feeling like very low. And so it's a good sign when you have a healthy sex drive. It's a good sign. It's a good sign of your health. Okay, now number 7 is mood swings. Okay, do you find yourself having that up and down all day, the emotional up and down? Okay, so mood swing is also a sign of under eating. Now the next one, this one actually really concerns a lot of women out there, the loss of menstrual cycle. Okay, so I know a handful of ladies, and even myself have actually experienced this in the past, that I would not have my period for a few months, right? And I remember during that time, I was actually restricting my diet. I was trying to like lose weight during that time, and obviously it was affecting my health. So loss of menstrual cycle could also be a sign of under eating. Okay, so take good note of that. Now the next one is depression or anxiety. Okay, so depression, anxiety, it's also related to like mood swings. So under eating can really affect the chemicals inside our body, inside our brain, and also that affects our mood. Okay, next one. Okay, I experienced this one before too. Hair loss. Okay, yes, hair loss can also be a sign of under eating. And it was actually during a similar period of time when I didn't have my period and I was shedding a lot of hair like for 2 weeks, right? And so this was like a period of time where I was very stressed and I was not eating much and I was under a lot of like pressure. So I remember that. So, but as soon as I changed my lifestyle, changed my the way I ate and a lot of other things, I healed my body and the hair loss stopped. Okay, so this is something I want everyone to look at. But also hair loss can also due to the kidney health as well, which I can actually talk about another time if any of you guys are interested to learn more about the relationship between kidney health and the hair health, and I'm more than happy to talk about that. Okay, so this is hair loss is one of the signs. Okay, and the 2 more signs I'm going to be mentioning now, one is feeling cold. If you're always feeling cold, it's most likely that you're not eating enough. You don't have enough fuel to keep your body warm. Okay, so remember this. And then last one. Okay, if you always have sugar craving, or other kind of like food cravings. Now, some of you are like, oh, that's really weird, because a lot of times when we're overeating, when we're like, eating too much or gaining too much weight, we also crave sugar and we crave other food. Right? So I'll tell you why, this seems so similar to the case where you're overeating. That is because it's to do with your blood sugar. Okay, your blood sugar level, your insulin. Okay, so if you're not eating enough, then your body, your blood sugar level is very low, right? So when that happens, your body naturally wants to, like basically do something, to push the blood sugar level up, right? So most likely your body will crave things like sugar, right? Like carbs, right? Those are the fastest, how to say it, the food that releases, your insulin, and also it pushes your blood sugar level up the fastest, right? So that's why a lot of times your body will crave having sugar or carbs, right? So these are the 12 signs that you may be under eating, right? So if you're taking notes right now, so be sure to have a good assessment. Okay, maybe you are overeating as well, right? So this is where I want you to have a really good think about, like, are you eating too little, or are you like over restricting your calories, right? Because we don't want anyone to over restrict. We want everyone to be on the balanced and healthy diet. That is, when I say diet, I mean nutrition, habit, that is actually fueling your body with good amount of energy, good amount of calories, but also amazing amount of nutrients. Right? So it's about getting the quality and the high quality density of food into your body, not about just the amount of food. Okay, so I've just mentioned these 12 signs, and I hope this is helpful for all of you guys here, and I hope you like the new schedule.